Well, hello, farming friends, and welcome back to another edition of Farming Simulator 2015 with me, your old buddy, Mr. Moose. Hey, so we are on Holzhausen today. We decided to take a break from North Brabant and head over here to this farm and check out what's going on. So, update of where we left off. We had just put some herbicide down out in the fields to go ahead and kill off the weeds. So that's kind of where we at. We mowed some grass, made a little grass for chaff or for silage, and I've got that fermenting over there. Today what we're going to do is go ahead and plant some wheat because you got to remember the controls here. We are in need of some wheat in a field, and so that's what we're going to do today. We're going to grab the old JCB here and fire him up and go put a little wheat in the field. So I put this, I found a little issue here, and hopefully I'm not going to have it too bad with this. I put this seeder in here, and when I did, I put it over here next to the fuel tank. And because of that, when I get over here, I get a fuel prompt, but I don't get a connection to my... There it is, finally connected. I was having a really hard time connecting up to that seeder, and now I can't get my weight on. This is just a nightmare. There, got it all. Issues. Alright, so now everything's connected up. We got a wheel around here. And back the seeder into the little fertilizer area. So we can put some seed into this thing. These are some tight little sheds. Alright, so we're going to put some seed in this thing. Now our field has a few little weeds in it, but I'm not going to worry about that because this machine does have a cultivator on it. If it didn't have a cultivator on it, I would go ahead and bust up the dirt and till the few weeds that are in the field under, but this field has been plowed and cultivated, or as I am led to believe it has been plowed and cultivated, and so we'll go ahead and seed straight in it. Otherwise I wouldn't. I would just go with it, but a plowed field with some weeds in it, that's what the cultivators on these seeders are for. They're to break up weeds. They're not to actually break the ground for you. Like most people, I see a lot of people in this game who they will come into a field, they'll harvest it, and then they'll immediately pull into the field with this seeder and start planting again because, well, it's got a cultivator on it. Well, okay, yeah, it does in the game, but in real life, that's not really what you would do with this thing. You would at least break the ground first. Anyway, enough of me bitching. Alright, so we got wheat. Why are we doing wheat? Because we want to get dairy cows and we need straw. So, that's why we're doing wheat. So having never plowed any of these fields, never planted any of them, it's going to be a learning experience on what the best pathing is to get them done and all that other stuff. Because none of these fields are what you would call straight. And cut my headland in. See that little bit of weed there? Yeah, your cultivator would just cut that under, break all that up. And that's what those little discs are good for. They break up the weeds, break up any big clods that you got left from plowing and disking. I mean, I know there is no-till planting, but yeah. Not a whole lot of room here. I think I'll go ahead and just do 2 headlands. On these tight little fields like this. Just run a second headland on it. So anywho, get that knocked out. Sorry about missing that video yesterday. I got a little under the weather and didn't get that recorded. And actually tried to record it, and it just wasn't happening. And rather than just put in a half effort on it, I just finally gave up and just and said no, I'm just not doing a video today. Which I usually try to have several in the bank, just in case I don't feel good. I usually try to have something recorded. I try to stay a day ahead. But I had gotten sidetracked with some other things, and am going day to day right now. So until I get a little bit put in the bank, I'm kind of off my game plan right now, which is sort of kind of nice because you don't ever have everything completely planned out, which is one of the things I want to talk about today. And I mentioned this a little bit in our last video, and hadn't really gone into it. It was so late in the video, I think a lot of people might not have heard it, because some people just only watch segments of the video, don't watch the whole thing. What do you guys like content-wise? Do you like, I mean, because I'm going to try to do 2-3 maps at a time. And those maps would be continue the North Brabant series, you know, continue with it, work on Holzhausen with the Soul mod, because it is the Soul mod, and then the other one would be Colborough to do it. My question though is how to structure the content for you guys so you enjoy it the most. What do you guys like? And I appreciate your comments on this. Do you like a set schedule of like Monday is North Brabant Day, Tuesday is Holzhausen, Wednesday is Colborough Park? Or do you prefer a couple of days of this farm, a couple of days of that farm, a couple of days of the next farm? My theory that I go by is I usually try to put things in blocks to where there's a flow between days so that the content that I'm delivering you has a flow to it, in the sense that if we start a project, let's say that project is chaff, that if I do 3 days on chaff and we go from start to finish on it, you can go and follow along with the whole flow of it. And at the end of the day, you know that today you watched me get started on it, and I usually try to tell you what I'm thinking for the next video, and I say, well, tomorrow I'm going to do the follow-up of this and that, and we'll get going with this. And you know that that's what the next day is, and you can follow that thing from start to finish in about 3 days, and then we can come back and start the next project, whether that be working on Holzhausen, getting it planted and getting it all set up, and then go to Coldborough and work on it. You know, that's my whole theory on all that. But the question is that what you guys like, where you get that little, you know, you get segments of this project from start to finish, or would you just rather me do a set schedule of Mondays is North Brabant, Tuesdays is Holzhausen, Wednesdays is Coldborough, and them Thursdays is this, Fridays is that. You know, one day is a map review. Just curious as to what you guys think. I'm still trying to get everything worked out, and again, it's you know, I'm trying to find what you guys enjoy and balance that with my gameplay. You know, I'm like you guys. I know everybody's looking for mods. They're looking to see what mods are out there, what new mods are available. I hit the stupid hired help. I missed a spot right there I was trying to get. I know a lot of people watch these videos to see what mods are out there, what new mods that they haven't seen, or blah blah blah. And there's just, you know, those I'll splash in when I find a mod. I just do the review, and it doesn't matter what day it is. And if I'm trying to keep a schedule of content, I'll just splash those in and maybe do 2 videos when I have those, or maybe we'll do the mod reviews on the weekends or something. But I don't know, what do you guys like? Do you like a set schedule so you know that this day is this and this day is this, or do you just is it fine just being a hodgepodge, and it's sort of like a who knows what Moose is going to do today, because he is the indecisive farmer, you know. Just curious for your input. So if you guys leave me a comment, I appreciate it. There's a few of you guys that comment daily, and I appreciate it. And so just give me your input, because again, I'm trying to develop a channel that you guys really enjoy, and that the content is, you know, there is a theory behind what I'm doing, but I'm not sure if that's what you guys would rather see. So just curious. One thing I hate doing, and I catch myself doing it periodically, is like I get off on, so like I find a series of mods or such that I needed to do, and I did it last week with the whole fruit tree thing. I realized that I had gotten behind and hadn't done the fruit trees and the lettuce add-on. I hadn't done a video on them, so I thought, well, I need to catch up on all this and get it done. Well, in the process, it was a week away from actual just farming videos, which views wise didn't seem to faze anybody. I got a lot of views off of everything, but at the same time I was away from the farm videos, so I don't even know if it matters what the content is. If you guys are just watching for the just to see what's up and what's going on, does content even matter? So anyways, your input is appreciated. Because if you guys weren't watching, well, then I'd be making these videos for myself and two of my best friends, and they wouldn't care if I was just on here whistling. Or at least they wouldn't tell me they cared if I was on here whistling. What about mod reviews too? Do you want to just see, would you rather me just tell you when I find a mod that I actually like and showcase the mod that I like? Or would you like me to do a mod review on just any old mod and just destroy it? Because I'm pretty good at that. I can be really vicious on mods. I don't like to be though, you know? I don't like to just do mod reviews and just tear them apart. Though there are some out there that obviously deserve my attention. And y'all know which ones I'm talking about. Well, there are a few mods out there that I have had to bite my tongue on and not say anything about. But really, I mean, there's so many mods missing from this game that it kills me to see somebody who's got talent waste time on something like a tea bag. If you've got the skills to mod, showcase them and do something really cool for the game that is missing, that's not in the game. There are so many things that would be cool to have in a game, like front tire attachment for these tight fields. I don't know if y'all ever seen them, and I don't know the exact name on it. I've seen them a lot before, but they make an attachment that can go. It's a specialized company that makes it. They make an attachment that can go on the front of your tractor, and it's basically putting a fifth wheel on the front of your tractor. And when you get to the edge of the field, you lower it, and it jacks the front end of the tractor up, and then you either spin it clockwise or counterclockwise, and it in essence turns your tractor on that pivot point. So if I were to stop right here and lower it, my counterweight would be a wheel with a little motor on it, and it would pull up the top of the tractor just enough to get the wheels out of the dirt. And then I would say if I wanted to spin to the right, I would dial in a clockwise turn on the tire, and it would turn clockwise, and it would actually walk the tractor around in a clockwise position to actually make it. Somebody needs to make that mod. I mean, that's a great mod for tight situations like working on a fence row. I don't know if I described that. If you want to see something like that, there's actually one on, I don't know if you guys watch Tractor Spotting's videos, but they've got one on there. I've seen the video of it on there, I think. But anywho, alright, so we got this field planted. There was another mod I would love to see. Somebody's actually working on one, and I can't wait until it becomes placeable and do it. But if you're going to be doing the soul mod, how awesome would it be to have a field walker? Either the kind that has a center post in the middle of the field, and you turn it on and the water actually crawls around the field slowly, working off of your center pivot point, or an articulated head that's on a trailer that crawls out into the field. You hook it up and it's got a hose reel and walks out, and use that for irrigation. How awesome would it be for somebody to implement that in the game? But yet, no, what we have are people spending time on tea bags, tin cans, manhole covers, hot pink tractors, and leaf camouflage and real tree camouflage tractors, and yeah, give me some good mods. Skinning a tractor is not a mod. I want to see some killer implements that you would see on the farm that you would actually use, you know? Not this junk that comes out half the time. That's how half of it is. Half of it is junk. Though I wouldn't mind having a little gator on my farm to go check out things. Alright, so we're done with this tractor. And am I just rambling to myself or what? You know, like, Moose has lost it. He's just going on. That's what I need to make, is a list of most wanted mods. Things that are missing from the game that I would absolutely love to have. I'm still looking for a really good dump truck, but I've yet to see it. It's just not there. Alright, so I'm not going to put any weed preventative on that wheat yet. I know that's probably a mistake, but I don't know what weed preventative to put on it right now without pulling it up on my phone, which is one thing. But at the same time, I'd rather it do one growth stage. I mean, it just got cultivated, so technically, that's a little bit of agricultural weed killer right there. So I should be able to let it have one growth stage and then put down my weed preventative. So what do we want to do now? I think we need to water. So we can switch to water and make sure that both of these guys are, well, we're 100% full. Let's look at the weather real quick. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's going to get cloudy until there, and rain's not until Sunday. So let's do a little water on all the fields. Because I think what I read was 50%. That your fields need to be 50% hydrated for optimum production. So yeah. Somebody commented the other day on on the forums when I was talking about this farm that it was pretty cool and they liked the soil mod, but all this spraying would drive them nuts. I'm with you, brother. This is a test. I'm curious about the soil mod. There are a lot of things in this game that I don't like, and one of the fact is that you can just, you know, plow your field and put one type, any fertilizer is a you know, qualified fertilizer, and it doesn't really matter anything else, just as long as you put a fertilizer down. So the whole weed preventative part of it, and you know, I've always wondered why you didn't have to water your fields and worry about putting hydration in and weed preventative and all, and, you know, come back and after you get first growth, do a little cultivating in the field. Those things like that are the things that I wonder where that is in the game. And so that's the reason I'm doing the soul mod. And to see if it's my cup of tea. It might be, like you say, it might be too much spraying. And it might drive me nuts. After a while, it might get old. But I'm going to give it a try. And see how it works out. Because these are the things that I would do in RL, and yeah. Granted, you know, I have a monitor for watering at home on my little farm that I have, and so I don't have to drive through the field and spray like this. But here on the coast, it gets pretty dry during the summer. You do have to manage your fields and get plenty of hydration in them. And so I have a monitor with a hose reel that you basically, it has a crawl, and you hook it up to your water pump, and it has a giant sprinkler head on top of it that just bangs around and bangs the water out into the field like your little sprinklers at home have. And it just when I do have to water, that's the way I water. Now some of my places I have set up irrigation where I've run PVC pipe out and have just regular sprinkler heads on them, on the smaller stuff like tomato plants, cucumbers, things like that. More of my garden stuff, like home garden stuff. That stuff is just PVC pipe with a sprinkler head. But the bigger fields for corn, the bigger fields that I do beans, corn, things of that nature, that I use a monitor to water with. Right. Alright, so a little hydration on this field. And we'll see what that does to it. We gotta roll across here. Catch these other two fields. Man, as much as we're going to have to drive through these fields doing watering and planting, it's amazing that we don't have crops laying on the ground from your road tires. Do 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 do. Alright, let's see if I can get straightened up a little bit here. That ain't right. Oh, let's see if I can adjust that in a little bit. Look right. We're gonna try it. Definitely need to find, you know, the Unimog's cool and all that other stuff, and it's the flavor of the week. I need to find a, somebody needs to come out with like a John Deere 62 that is elevated with a with road tires on it, and has crop guards on the front of the tires. And a spring boom. Definitely need something like that. Elevated chassis so that you can come and spray your crops and never touch them. Maybe there's one out there. I shall have to look now. Oh, I wonder if I'm elevated enough to get over the street marker. I am. Nice. Hello, Mr. Corn, 43% hydration. We are giving you a drink, a little shower. Giving you some water. I had forgot about you. I'm just concentrating on spraying the field. Getting all the water down. Get a little hydration on the ground. Now there's something in the soul mod I read about if the temperature gets over a certain degree at noon, it adds hydration into the field. I gotta be honest, I haven't read everything about all of this, so I'm just trying to learn as I go. Oops. Road marker down. $5 penalty. That's alright. I got news for you. It'll be back tomorrow. I'll just pick it up and go stick it back in the ground. Put a little duct tape around the base of it. It'll be all good as new. Maybe a little baler's twine. I'm sure it snapped off with a little bit left up. Either that or I'll just go get a little piece of stick, nail it in the ground, and then just twine it up on there. Oh yeah, it'll be good as new. That's one thing I can say I've never done. I've never clipped anything with a piece of agricultural equipment. I've done a lot of dumb things, but I've never like clipped a street sign or somebody's car or vehicle or anything else like that. Not to say I hadn't come close before, but I've never done it. Where'd that sign go? I think this is the one I'm supposed to be on. Oh, I'm about to run over another one. I think this is the path I should be on. It's really hard to tell because you don't get any kind of extra color in hydration versus the fertilizer and the weed preventative. You just kind of got to be on your game. Alright, let's fold this up. I got to refill it one more time. We'll do one more field and then we'll call this another video. All this spraying is going to get old, isn't it? You guys are going to be like, oh no, he's spraying again. We'll try to keep that down to a minimum. All right. So somebody did comment that when you do refill in here, it does default to NP and K. So you just have to, but to change your fertilizer or whatever, you have to be at a fertilizing station. So that's the one trick to it is you can do whatever you want, like this is NP and K. To get it back to water though, I do have to, before I leave here, change it to water. There we go. And then I'll spin around. I got to do the front one as well. And switch over to it. Fill it up. And we'll switch it over to water as well. Not possible while refilling. Alright, so before I leave, switch that to water. And we're good to go. Hard to see with that big old thing up there. I wonder if we can lower that a little bit. Nope. I've told y'all I've been playing with this better steering mod. I think it makes my first person driving worse. I thought, oh, it's going to do all kinds of nifty things and it's going to make it better. I think it's actually made it worse. Alright, switch back to the back. Unfold my booms. Oh, I almost got it right. Look at there. That's pretty darn close. Alright. So we got this one last field to do. And then that'll be done. And I'll find something else to do on this farm. There's still a few pieces of equipment I need to get. And you'll see my money right now is at 300,000. That's just because I know there's a few other pieces of equipment I need to purchase. And I haven't done it yet. Just because I haven't gotten the farm completely set up. I'll go ahead, I've got to purchase those and get them placed. And then once I get all the equipment that we're going to use, we'll go ahead and drop down to about, I don't know, $50,000. Does that seem right? I'll figure out the money on that. But we'll drop the money down to something a little bit more reasonable. And then we'll start to actually go with the... we won't add any money in unless it's to buy a specific piece of equipment. I'm not just going to give myself $1 million and sit there with it. It'll only be for a specific piece of equipment. So like if a great mod comes out and I want to add that tractor to the farm, then I'll just give the money to do it. But as far as the rest of the gameplay, we'll just kind of leave that. That doesn't mean I'm going to go out and give myself the money to buy a Ponzi Scorpion and all that other stuff to go do forestry. It just means that the starting equipment is going to be, like I said, most of the starting equipment I have, I am going to go ahead and get the lime spreader and put that in here. I'm probably going to go ahead and I did get a baler. I'm probably going to go ahead and get the auto collector for the baler, just to have. I don't know, but there's just a couple of things that I need to get. I'll get those, install those, and then we'll, once I get the basics, then we can go from there. The only other thing that I've picked up on this farm that you guys haven't seen so far is, I've got the two tractors, the JCB and the Fendt. I've got this guy here, and then I've got the Merlot for the front loader. I've got the Class for the harvester, and then I've got, as a play toy, I got the Krone Big M500 for mowing grass. So that's it as far as tractors and stuff. Like I said, I want to pick up the lime spreader, and we might need one more tractor eventually. But for now, I think I can get away with what I've got. But eventually, I might like a another tractor for, because hired help's not going to be an issue. So if I want to just get a bunch of plowing done, I can always hire somebody to do that. Especially because I want to do some gang plowing. And I'm going to look into that follow me mod just to see how it works. Not really that I want to use it. But somebody suggested it the other day, and I might just do it to experiment with it and do a little gameplay with it just to show it for those who haven't ever seen it. And because I haven't ever messed with it. It's not a mod that I've needed and haven't really cared to get. So that's the reason I've never looked into it. You know, everybody has different gameplays and different styles. You know, and people will ask, well, how come you don't do this? This is a good option. Or how come you don't do that? I don't know. Maybe it's something I never looked at, or it was something I looked at and thought it wasn't my cup of tea. Just like some of the things I do probably aren't other people's cup of tea. So that's a great thing about it, is you can play it any way you want to play it. It's up to you. So the things I do are just my way of doing things, and you may do them differently. But at the same time, I might bring some ideas to the table that you don't use, and I appreciate the input. Your ideas may give me some ideas that I didn't think of necessarily, or it may be just something that I've looked at and just have decided it wasn't for me. So, alright, so yeah, you can see we haven't really gone hog wild on equipment. I went with the Marshall trailers just for something different. I've used the Flegels and all that other stuff in so many videos. And then, you know, the two tractors that are in here. And then I've got the plow and the combine head over on the other building. So I don't have that much equipment. I haven't gone crazy. The only other thing that I did get off video that you guys didn't see, I brought all that grass over, and we've got just a little bit, not much. This is fermenting. It's 75%, but there's not much in here. But I did go ahead and get this particular roller for the silage, just to help roll it out and not take forever to get that done. That's the only other little piece of equipment that I've purchased that you guys haven't seen so far. And yeah, so we'll that's about it. Over here's where I've got the, like I said, I've got the combine head stored there on its little nifty trailer, and then the plow. So I want to probably pick up another plow, and that's the reason I think I might get another tractor, is to have two plowing tractors, and that way we can plow two at a time. It does take quite a bit of time to plow, so having two of them set up and going would be cool. And somebody asked me where I got this. This is Mod Hoster. Excuse me. This is FSUK. It's put out by OEB Modding. There are many different versions of this out there. I saw Timber had a version of it on his modding page. But this particular version I got way back around December or so. And it's OEB did it. And so all OEB stuff is on FSUK. So that's where you'll find it at. Nifty little thing. It's pretty fun. Alrighty, that's going to wrap it up for this edition of Holzhausen. And we'll be back here with a little bit more. I'll find something else to get into. And we've got, it's 7 a.m. in the morning. And again, I don't really like fast tracking. I don't like just going ahead and jumping ahead a day. when there's other things we can be doing. So I'll try to find something to do on this map. Maybe we get a chainsaw and go do a little forestry and start doing that aspect of the game to make a little money. And like I said, I'll drop the money down to where it is and we'll go from there. But maybe we buy some more fields and start planting some more fields. I don't know. But at this point, I know I've got like 2 more days to go on these fields to get them actually grown up. So that's going to be the challenge. I may have to go ahead and fast track a little bit, even though I don't want to. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video. That'll be it for today. We'll do another one tomorrow, Lord willing. And until then, y'all have a great day and stay safe. Thanks again for watching. If you liked the video, give me a thumbs up. And again, if you're new watching these videos and want to subscribe to the channel, I do try to get a new video out each and every day. So until tomorrow, y'all be good, and I will see you then. Bye-bye.